What is going on, OTB Nation? Welcome into episode number 8. I just did Underground today. Episode 415. This is what happens, man. We're already off to a hot start, Brian. Hot start for OTB After Dark. How you doing?
You know how it go at this time of year.
Good grief. What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, OTB Nation? Welcome into episode number 415 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, most unprofessional, clearly, and most disrespectful lacrosse podcast you ever done, seen, and heard in the nation. It is the Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Industries Podcast Network. KB and Deej with a little OTB After Dark recording here.
Yes, sir.
We're going to recap everything from week 12 in the NLL. We've got a short week 13 week, but I'll be back at Xfinity Mobile Arena for the first time in a month, covering the Wings in person, which will be nice. And we'll have some fun along the way. We also got some Champ Series coaching updates today as we record this here late Thursday, early Friday morning, but we'll talk about that as well because some very intriguing things. We'll pick Coach Deej's mind and how he feels about some of these decisions from a coaching perspective. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at OTB Lax Pod across the board. We're on every social platform. Just search at OTB Lax Pod. Follow Deej on Twitter at SCS_NextGreat, at Uncle Deej12 on Instagram and Threads. Follow Hoots at HootsSportsMedia.com. If you know, you know. Follow our guy Zach. He'll be in San Diego, I believe, on Saturday for the Thunderbirds and Seals matchup at zachweens.media on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311, KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. You can also watch the show on Spotify, but subscribe. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow. It helps more people find OTB. Plus, it helps them find our entire catalog of podcasts here at Underground Industries. So please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia, Outside the Box podcast, and Underground Industries YouTube channels. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia is where you get full video episodes of us talking NLL, PLL, WLL every single week. That's where you get full video episodes of our original 6 shows on the network. Clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. We're at 1,252 subscribers. I'd like to hit 1,300 before March Madness hits. DJ was talking to Pat Pitts. We were recording the house show. I was thinking of some diabolical social media bracket season type things that we're going to be conjuring up, and the lacrosse one is going to get the people talking.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about doing a whole bracket. PLL region, NLL region, college region, WLL region, and we determine who the best lacrosse player is from those regions of all time. We will be the most talked about and the most viral bracket just because of how toxic lacrosse Twitter will get about it.
I mean, yes, because we're bound to miss someone that we should have put in there.
Somebody off.
Yes.
And it will be great.
Absolutely. Every time we piss someone off, it's great. Does that make us unprofessional? Oh, my God.
Disrespectful. Who knows? How you doing? But yeah, bracket season's right around the corner, which is crazy. But subscribe there. Subscribe to the Outside the Box podcast YouTube channel. Get the OTB College Lacrosse Show with Deej and Hoots every Tuesday, 6 a.m. in your feeds. And then subscribe to Underground Industries. That is our network across the board. So go support that as well and subscribe on YouTube. Coach Deej, how we living? How we doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm living the dream. getting one step closer to season. We're a couple weeks away. Finalized my schedule finally. So everybody that's been asking me for it can chill out because I was getting really annoying. But I got that done. Michigan is continuing their run of dominance in college basketball. Finally, the number one team in the country. Big game against Duke coming up this weekend. So that's going to have a lot of my attention. And the Pistons won again. Fuck the Knicks.
The sky is also blue.
Yeah.
Oh, you beat the Knicks? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It wasn't by 30 like we did the first two times, but a win is a win.
Hey, a dub is a dub.
Hey, you know, when you got Jalen Duren and Beef Stew out on suspension, it's hard to beat a team like the Knicks by 30.
Yeah, man, we haven't been able to talk about that much. The fact that you manifested that on this show, because at some point we were talking about Pistons players ready to scrap, and then subsequently Pistons players went and scrapped.
Like right after I said that.
You manifested that shit.
Don't be putting that on me. You can't put that on me.
You were the sickos meme, like yes.
Hey, you know what else is funny? The player that fouled Jalen Duren played college basketball at Michigan. And Miles Bridges is from Flint and played at Michigan State.
Of course.
Like it was so just Michiganified, the whole thing.
That's incredible.
So yeah, hey, maybe I am at fault for that.
Team USA women's hockey, Michigan-fied.
Yep. Hey,
what a goat.
The men's team too. Connor Hellenbuck
on their way.
Michigan man.
On their way.
The Hughes and Larkin, Michigan man. Hellenbuck went to I think Ohio State, but
he also feels like a guy.
He's from Commerce.
He doesn't feel like he's from the U.S. Like Hellebuck does not feel like a.
It doesn't feel like a U.S. last name, but he's from Michigan as fuck. Like Commerce Township, I think.
Commerce Township.
Yeah.
He went to.
Or is it Wisconsin, Minnesota?
No, he's from Michigan.
No, I know he's from Michigan, but
college-wise,
yeah,
Where did he play?
I know it's somebody that's not Michigan.
He only did 2 years of college. Where was it? Come on, Wikipedia, you're letting me down.
Man, bro, sometimes the internet just doesn't do what it should.
He earned a scholarship to play for UMass Lowell.
But did he?
Oh, he went to UMass Lowell.
Okay.
So he went to Massachusetts.
That's not terrible. You can go over there.
You can have it.
Yeah, I'll let you have that one.
Yo, these Olympics have been firing me up for 2028 too. Like I've just been like, someone put it so eloquently, because I know you and I are like on the same page with what I'm about to say. And it was just like so perfect, because like you watch like the Team USA athletes and you're like proud as fuck of them and like all they're accomplishing. And it's like so sick. Like today with the women's ice hockey team and they're just like entire run in the history they've set. Alyssa Liu today, they like going and winning gold medals within 64 minutes of each other. But then it's also like you can be patriotic, but also like fucking detest everything that's going on in the country right now, and still be proud of our athletes because they're doing it for themselves. And sure, they're wearing USA on their chest, but it's like they can be patriotic as fuck, and also most of them, with a few exceptions, mostly on that men's ice hockey team, can detest what is going on in this country right now. And I was like, fuck, you know what? Fuck yeah. Like the Olympics should be the only time you get like, from a sporting angle wise, that you should only get emotional when like a national anthem is played, in my opinion. Because I feel like we overdo national anthems.
Oh, don't even get me started. Don't even get me
like
started.
It should be saved for like the biggest of big stages.
Like State championship only. And as far as like high school sports.
Yes.
State championship only.
Why are we doing it on a Tuesday in January for, JV basketball?
Don't even get me started on the like super hoorah places that do it before every game, all levels, freshman, JV, varsity. Like, don't you start with me. That drives me insane.
But like when it happens at the Olympics, it's like, I'm like, fuck yeah, this rocks.
Yeah. And that's just a different like vibe and feeling completely. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah. That's when an anthem's supposed to be played.
That's how it's supposed to feel too. Is like when you feel it on that stage, that's like what it's supposed to feel like.
I 100% agree.
Someone's gonna rip us for this too, and I can't wait.
Of course. I'm okay with it. It's whatever.
But it's true. It's like it should be like it's such a big deal thing. It should be saved for big deal stages.
I 100% agree to
that. When you look at and it's getting me juiced for 2028 with lacrosse because just thinking about our boys for Canada, Team USA, hopefully the Haudenosaunee as well. Like thinking about what those guys, whoever ends up on that podium, and what that'll be like, especially because we know so many of them. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, obviously, for multiple reasons. I've been looking forward to them being in the Olympics now for a couple of years, and we know what the rosters are going to look like on this half of the world. I'm really excited to see what other teams are able to qualify and get in and what their rosters look like, and then for a lot of people to see some high-level lacrosse.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. But speaking of the lacrosse and doing that lacrosse, who would be the best rapper to do the parody of that parody with Chance the Rapper on SNL where he said, let's do that hockey?
I mean, the easy answer...
Ice JJ Fish?
The easy answer is Method Man.
Yeah.
But... Ice JJ Fish is hilarious.
Dude, the only reason that's frontal lobe right now is we had a customer at the day job that looked exactly like This guy was a total creep talking to one of my female coworkers, and he walks over to me afterwards and goes, "Don't say I never gave you anything," and he just hands me his business card. I was like, bro, what are we doing?
That's so funny.
It's an AI photo of himself too. It would look like shit.
Oh, that's nasty.
But he's talking. He's got a bigger gap between his teeth than Michael Strahan.
Damn, is that possible?
Damn.
You sure it's not just?
JJ.
You sure it's not just a missing tooth?
Nah, that shit was split like the Red Sea.
Because the gaps don't get that big.
Man, that was the No Child Left Behind gap.
Which I wish we would start leaving children behind again. Call me what you want,
man.
But
you're just a realist.
Hey, I keeps it 100. I can't help it.
So funny. Man, yeah, we had a customer look like I'm gonna have to take a picture of the business card and send it to you because
please,
you're
bro,
piss yourself. Because I was like, oh my god, that was the first thing that came in my mind too. I was like, this dude looks like Ice JJ Fish. That's how you know it's bad. I have a direct comp for you, and it's fucking Ice JJ Fish.
Hey, do you want to know the slang word of the day on the block today?
Oh no,
it was choppelganger. So it's a combination of chopped and doppelganger.
That's absurd.
And it's the unattractive version of
that's diabolical. Choppelganger.
Imagine this dude being Ice JJ Fish's choppelganger.
Oh my, that's exactly what he was. And imagine
which is crazy.
Ice JJ Fish having somebody more chopped than him.
Man, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Because my boy is chopped already.
Oh my days.
Oh, I cannot believe I was able to use that word in real life.
That's incredible. Absolute cinema.
Oh my god.
But yeah, let's do that lacrosse. We're going to get into week 12 of NLL recap. But before we do, make sure you guys go subscribe to Light the Flame Olympics podcast. We've been pumping out the numbies, doing daily Olympics coverage, and hopefully 2028, fingers crossed, second week, we'll be doing it live from LA. That's the plan. That's the goal, obviously. Week 12 in the NLL, though, Deej, quite the week. A lot of competitive games, couple of blowouts. The results: Colorado 13, Las Vegas 12, Buffalo survive in Halifax 11-10. Did that game go to overtime? Or was that regulation? It was regulation. Buffalo win 11-10. Ottawa stunned the Nighthawks in Rochester 10-8. San Diego belt to ass against Oshawa 13-7. Saskatchewan survive in overtime against Vancouver 9-8 at home. Calgary Roughnecks take down the Philadelphia Wings 10-9. The Colorado Mammoth belt to ass over the Toronto Rock 16-8. And the Georgia Swarm, Brett Dobson's MVP case continues, an 11-6 victory over the Calgary Roughnecks. Deej, I want to declare a take here as we get into this. I know we've been on the Saskatchewan train, and I still am. Colorado's right there with them now, man. And I know we've said Colorado's a top 3 team, but, like, am I crazy for this? Hear me out. We're very much on the Brett Dobson for MVP case as well. I'm throwing another name in the ring, and I think it's an underlooked name simply because there's another guy on his team that's producing pretty well too. Jack Hanna's got to be an MVP candidate. From the moment he stepped on the floor with that Mammoth team, they've been on fire. I don't think they've been held to single-digit goals more than once in the Jack Hanna era. He's been incredible. Now, I'm not saying he is the MVP, but I want to lob his name out there and give the boy his flowers because he's been playing his ass off. And ever since he's been inserted into that Colorado lineup, the Mammoth have been on this surge. And to get 2 wins against 2 quality opponents the way they did this past weekend is nothing short of impressive. And they are the 1A best team in the league with Saskatchewan for me right now.
I mean, yeah, they are doing all the right things. You have Dylan Ward playing at a fantastic level. The offense is back to that exciting way of moving the ball. And that's what I think is most impressive is this team is very unselfish. They move the ball a lot, and they let a lot of guys take shots. And whoever has the best shot is the one that's going to take it. And they're burying a lot of those opportunities. And they seem to just have control of a lot of games. There's very few teams that can control the pace of the game against the Mammoth and then also make it count. The Mammoth have kind of just created a game plan that works for them, and they're sticking to it like a T.
I just looked at Jack Hanna's stats just to tickle my fancy. Can you give me your guess of how many points per game Jack Hanna is averaging with the Colorado Mammoth?
3.87.
Much higher, my friend. This kind of blew my mind because I knew he was making an impact, but I'm like, holy shit.
7.6.
Subtract the 7 point and you got it. He's averaging 6 points per game in 7 games so far with the man. 11 goals, 31 assists for 42 total points. 8 power play points. 28 loose balls. Just 21 turnovers. 4 caused turnovers, which matches his total from all of last year. And he's doing that with 63 shots on goal. 42 points with 63 shots on goal. He's been unbelievable.
Wild.
It's wild when you like see the numbers in front of you.
Great efficiency.
It's like you know he's making an impact. Like there's no denying that. But when you see like the actual statistics in front of your face, it's crazy how much of an impact he's made on that team.
I think the only thing that's holding him back from like being in the conversation is like guys kind of have a couple weeks on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's really kind of all it is.
I think if he finishes the season healthy and plays the rest of the way, like I think there's a case to be made. And I'm not saying like he will be, but I think the boy deserves his flowers because he's been spectacular in 7 games in Colorado. And I don't think there's any denying that Colorado have like already reaped the early returns on winning that trade.
Absolutely. For now. Do gotta wait and see what else comes about, but for now they're clear cut winners.
Yeah, to get Jack Hanna in his prime is nothing to sneeze at. Buffalo take down the original Jekyll and Hyde team 11-10. And I mean, Colorado, what more can you say outside of what we said already? Like, just a dominant weekend. They're 8-2, which I don't even know if Jack was in the lineup for 2 of their 2 losses. If he was, it was for 1, because obviously the first one he wasn't even on the team yet because they lost to the Wings opening weekend for the Wings. But in the Jack Hanna era, they've lost 1 game, maybe, if I'm remembering correctly. So, like, insane weekend for them to get the 2-0 weekend against Vegas and Toronto. Buffalo, are they back, Deej? Are they alive? Or is it still kind of like up in the air because we've seen their schedule? We know like what's ahead for them. But did they save their season to any degree with this win?
One could be a fluke. I got to see more consistency. Got to be able to win a couple. But, I mean, they could be turning a leaf. There were some things that, like, they did that seemed very old Buffalo, especially the way they rallied at the end and they were able to stay composed and kind of use their veteranism to be veteranism. I can't believe I get paid to talk for a living.
They're veteners. That's a beach town in Jersey, bro. You just got coming here on the mud. That's all it is.
Yeah, no, you're right. But yeah, the veterans really stepped up and kind of took control of that and were able to slow things down and help the team slow down and really work at the pace that was going to work for them. But then also kind of she took advantage and opportunity to see the success in front and take it. So I really like what's happening there so far.
Yeah, I mean, big game, like you said, for the vets. Like, Ian had 6 points, Josh had 5 points, Dane had 7 points, and then you get contributions from Tahoka. Clay Scanlon had 2 points in this game. Kyle Buchanan had 2 points in this game, and then you had assists all across the board. And it could have been a much uglier game too. You know, it could have been a much more like barn burner type. Buffalo went 1 for 4 on the power play, and Halifax went 1 for 5. So, like, if either of those teams took more advantage of their power play opportunities, this could have been a much uglier game one way or another. But Buffalo did the damn thing. They get a win that they desperately needed, and we'll see if that sparks anything for them moving forward. Ottawa over Rochester. Is Ottawa the biggest dark horse team right now?
We got to give them respect.
They are 6-5, so they're over 500, I think, for the first time all year, or close to it. But 6-5, they played more games than a lot of teams. But they would be a playoff team right now, I believe. Saskatchewan, Colorado, Georgia, Vancouver are your top 4. Yeah, they'd be the 7 seed in the playoffs right now. They're just playing really good fundamental lacrosse, and it's not that they're like dazzling anybody. Their main contributors are doing the damn thing, from Rob Hellier, Jeff Teat, Riley O'Connor. You're getting contributions from Larson and Connor Kiernan, and you're getting quality defensive play in front of Higgy, and to shut down a Rochester Nighthawks offense and limit them to just 8 goals is pretty damn impressive, especially for a team that we have talked about a ton having back end issues with their defense and allowing teams that have high powered offenses to come in and really take advantage of them. And Higgy stood on his head. He had 50 saves in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're really starting to put it together, led by obviously Jeff Teat and crew on the offensive end. Zach Higgins is starting to be himself. We saw him play this way, and was it Philly he was at before this? Yeah. And now he's just carrying over, and they've hit a stride where they're playing at the top of their game. I mean, that could be bad. Maybe they peaked too early, but at this moment they're really solidifying themselves as one of the surging teams in the league that kind of deserves a playoff spot. And hopefully they'll have that mentality that, all right, we made it. So, whatever happens from here. Like, we already made the playoffs. So either you win or you lose, but you got to be ready for everything.
Yeah, and I mean, Callum Jones has been a force for them. Defensively, transition-wise, getting loose balls, 13 loose balls in this game for him. Are we nervous about Rochester? 3-game losing streak. I believe they're under 500 for the first time all season. They're 4-5 right now. Are we nervous about the Rochester Nighthawks, or is this just a good team going through a bad slump?
3 is where I start to get nervous. I would say I'm nervous, but it's not heavy nervousness. This is when I begin to get nervous because 3 in a row is a lot. Granted, they've had some close losses, so that kind of helps you feel a little less panicked because you know that they still are kind of doing all the right things. They just can't finish enough, or they're giving up too many penalties, or they're having dumb mistakes, or uncaused turnovers. Like it's small, minute things. They're just piling up, and now it's costing them games. So no super crazy panic button yet, but definitely a concern.
And granted, we said this last week, Riley Hutchcraft on any other team on a lot of teams in this league could be a starter. He started in this game with the suspension for Hartley. Is this game different if Hartley plays? Who knows?
Right.
Maybe there's more fists thrown. Who knows? But that's the thing too in this game. Ottawa took advantage of the power play. They went 2 for 3 on the power play. Rochester went 0 for 2. You had 2 man-up situations where you could have cashed in, and you failed to do so. And Ottawa had a blitz of a fourth quarter. They scored 5 goals to really put a bow on this one. But Rochester definitely has to figure some things out. We looked at their schedule last week too. It doesn't get easy for them. So they have some things to figure out with that offense, with that defense, with goaltending. Like, it's not that they're down and out and they're just going to start free falling, but if they don't figure some things out, especially on that back end, sooner rather than later, Rochester could fall out of playoff positioning real quick.
Yeah, I mean, they're slipping, and it's easy to kind of get complacent. I don't necessarily think that's the case for them, but when you start to play really well, teams start to throw a little bit of a tougher shot at you because they know that you're in a groove, you're playing well, and if they want to be able to beat you or show that they're at that level as well, they have to play better than you are. And you're seeing that happen with Rochester here late in games. I think they're starting pretty well, and they're kind of able to keep those middle quarters okay, but at the end of games, they're really struggling to keep teams off their back.
We move to San Diego and Oshawa. Deej, are the Oshawa FireWolves dead? 13-7 loss to the Seals. Same things continue to happen over and over and over again with this team. Ethan Walker, 1 assist in this game. Taggart Clark, 1 goal in this game. Seals did a great job limiting Alex Simmons and Ty Kurtz. They both had multiple points in this game. 2-2 for Ty, 1-1 for Simmer. Colton Watkinson had 3 assists, and Dyson Williams had 2 goals. Those are your only players with multiple points in this game. Are the FireWolves cooked?
I would say yes. Their offense just doesn't.
2-9.
Their offense just doesn't pop out at me. It doesn't do what it did a couple of years ago. There aren't really a lot of exciting names to make people feel like they should be tuned in. They're just, the advertising for it isn't there, and you gotta go out and make it happen. That's the thing, every single time, and they're not doing that right now. I think the defense is okay. I think Doug Jameson is playing as great as he possibly can. And they're just not getting the offensive production they thought they would be getting this year to win games. And in this league, this iteration of the league, you have to be able to compete with the best offenses. And they're not able to do that.
Yeah. Like, you can't rely, and we say this, I feel like we're a broken record at this point. You can't be relying on Ty Kurtz and Alex Simmons to just be your offense.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't get these weeks help where, like, Dyson sprinkles in, which, like, quality game, which is not really a compliment either in this instance. Like, 2 goals from Dyson Williams should be a down game for him, honestly. And we're talking about it like it's like, oh, is Dyson figuring things out? Like, that shouldn't be the case for him, and I think he would sit here and tell us that. Like, that he knows that is not the standard that he holds himself to. Ethan Walker, again, a no-show. Dawson Theed didn't have a great game, and granted, he was a mid-season pickup for them. So he's still, like, finding his way with a new team, but a week prior, he had 5 goals and 1 assist. Like, there's just no consistency to this offense. And again, when you're relying on 2 guys to be your backpack boys and carry your team on their back the way that they have relied on Simmer and Kurtz to do so, it's going to be tough sledding. And this team has just been in consistency like hell since they lost in the NLL finals a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that. There's been nothing that's been consistent about them. They've been up and down since then, and it's probably been really frustrating for them to have been that close and feel like they had it all, and then slowly but surely they've been getting farther and further away from that.
How much, not weight, but like looking at it now in hindsight is obviously easier to do than earlier in the season, but like how much do you think this FireWolves team is struggling because Joe Nardella has been out for the year?
I think it's a small part of it, but like I said, I think their main problem is down on offense, and like maybe sure them getting a few more possessions of the game might help them with that, but I also feel like it's more of just like a skill thing, just in certain situations.
As the kids say, skill issue.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, they're 2-9 right now. Granted, our boys, Calgary and Philly, are not far off ahead of them, staving them off, but it feels like the Wings and Calgary to a degree have a little bit more juice to them, where every week it's like Oshawa just feels so stagnant and they just have no real answer to figuring anything out.
I 100% agree. It's like they're cool with the amount of goals they're scoring and losing games. They're like, well, this is like sort of working. Let's just try it a little bit harder and it'll actually work. Like, no, it doesn't work. Change it. That's plain and simple.
And it's like, you know, not saying I'm not going to do the same song and dance tangent, but like the amount of people that went out and said like KJ was washed when they cut him. Look at what KJ's done in 2 games with the Wings. He scored 12 points in 2 games.
Just got to be around the right people.
Exactly. And like that's just proof right there that like this FireWolves offense, there's something inherently broken with it right now, because you remove a player like Kyle Jackson, who people were saying was washed and wasn't getting much playing time and not being integrated into the offense for whatever reason or another. He goes to another team that they're not lighting the world on fire, the Wings, but he's putting up numbers with talent that is equal to or comparable to what Oshawa has in terms of talent-wise, and quite frankly, Oshawa's younger.
Yeah, and he's, you know, it's I don't know what to say about it, because it's really weird how they're in this predicament. Because like you said, just 2 years ago, they were almost hosting a cup. And now we're talking about them like literally just like not being able to put the pieces together when they have good pieces everywhere. But like, it's like they just stare and watch.
Yeah. And I mean, their defense got ravaged by the the doom of Westburg, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points in this game. Trey LeClaire had 5 points. Dylan Watson had a hat trick, 4 points overall. Ben McIntosh was a goal shy of a sock trick. He had 6 points in this game. Connor Robinson had 3 assists. Corey Small had 2 assists. You got an assist from Graydon Bradley for the Seals. Zach Currier had 2 goals and an assist. And Origlieri played a great game. Only allowed 7 goals. That's a good game for Chris Origlieri that he's absolutely needed this year. But ever since he had, his little hiatus with his injury, he seemed to be back in action and kind of back where he needs to be. Again, we talked about it last week too. I don't know what the value for Ethan Walker would be, but I'm sure a team would love to take a flyer on him, and I would be stunned if Saskatchewan's not trying to hit Oshawa's line to try to reacquire Kyle Rubisch to add to their defense.
They may be. But they also may feel like they have everything they need, which is like, it's hard to go out and say like, yeah, let's add this person to this roster that's already really good. Or it's hard to keep people's morale up if you go out and add somebody else to your locker room because they're like, whoa, why are they here? I'm doing fine. Why do you need them here? It's just a tricky situation kind of for everybody involved, but I don't see it completely out of the cards, but I also feel like maybe they feel good right where they are and they don't want to make any drastic changes that could sway things one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I could also see Kyle Rubisch like potentially Buffalo, maybe Vegas if they have the money, which we know they didn't have the money to pay Jack Hanna. So, but I mean, Saskatchewan and Kyle Rubisch, obviously there's history there and he knows the system and all of that kind of stuff. And he was on those championship teams. He was on that team for a really long time. So it wouldn't shock me if that's a move they decide to make. And a lot of those guys, I'm sure in that room that were there, have a ton of respect for Rubisch. And I've never heard a bad thing about him. That's kind of what I'm lasering in on right now. And we talked about that a bunch last week too. But I don't know what the value is now after this week for Ethan Walker. So that's going to be a fascinating conundrum if people are picking up the phone for him at the trade deadline. Speaking of Saskatchewan, they win in overtime 9-8 over Vancouver. Heavyweight matchup there. This is something we could see in the playoffs later on this year for sure. Who else but Robert Church in overtime? I mean, he's one of those guys that's in the MVP conversation. Both teams played out of their minds. Charlon Beatties had 6 points in this game. Jesse King had 2 and 1. Keegan Ball had 2 and 1. But I mean, you look at limiting Curtis Dixon to 1 assist. You look at just the overall offensive production that we have seen over the past couple of weeks for Vancouver. And then you put them up against Saskatchewan, and the same thing for Saskatchewan. Like you've seen, their offensive production be through the roof, but they did a great job limiting a lot of their guys. But you had Zach Mans, our Mans, match what Charlon Beatties was able to do point for point. Robert Church had 2 and 2. Ryan Keenan had 4 assists. Saskatchewan just moved the ball around a little bit better, I think, and that's why they walked away victorious. They were able to get the ball in a bunch of guys' sticks, and that was really the determining factor there. A pretty clean game, too. No power play opportunities for Vancouver, and Saskatchewan went 0 for 3. So, I mean, Saskatchewan could have won this game in regulation had they taken advantage there, but only 10 penalty minutes overall in this game. And that, everyone, is Deej doing his best impression of the Vancouver Warriors offense in the third quarter because Deej say the line.
Did they get swept or swept? Did they go scoreless in the third?
They went scoreless in the third, Deej.
That's what I thought. But no, I was not doing an impersonation of them at all. I do think I really like the way Saskatchewan kept their composure and just continued to do the things that makes them them. And they knew that it would lead them to where they wanted to be, and that was a victory at the end of the game. Robert Church cashing it in is just Robert Church being Robert Church. There's kind of nothing else to be said about that. Zach Mans continues to play at an MVP-like level, and Saskatchewan's at the top of the league, and he's a large part for that.
Yeah, great game for the Rush. And I mean, like we always say, there's not really moral victories, but not much to like feel bad about if you're Saskatchewan or if you're Vancouver, excuse me. You played the best team in the league and you went to overtime with them. Like you feel good to a degree, and you learn from a game like that. And I think it only makes you better.
100%. I think it's one of those games where you learn how to win a tight game in a tough game, how to come from behind a little bit, all in one. And that's the kind of energy you're going to need in playoff games. You have to be able to possibly come from behind. You have to be able to possibly, need yourself or a few teammates to come up with some clutch plays. It's all got to happen if you want to win an NLL Cup.
100%. Calgary 10, Philly 9. Dumb game. Dumb, stupid mistake game for the Wings. They had this game. Credit to the Roughnecks, taking advantage. But this was the Wings not learning from their game in Buffalo, and they just reverted back, had a phenomenal first quarter, and then they just cruised. That's what they did. They cruised. They let Calgary kind of stick around, and Calgary clawed their way back in, and that's where this game was won. And it's a frustrating game where, again, this should be a game the Wings win 9 times out of 10, and they played the 1 out of 10 times that they lost.
If that makes you feel better, sure. I think Calgary came out and played the game that they've been playing all year, and they finally met a team that let them do it. Hey, only one other team has allowed them to lead to success. No, I'm kidding. I really think they just finally closed this game out. You look back, and a lot of the games that they've played this year have been close games within 3-4 goals or less, and it's because they have all the pieces to be successful. They just don't have that experience at the end of games that you need to do certain things. This was a game that they were able to close out, and has a couple exhibits of how good Calgary can really be when they put it all together, but they just haven't done that often this year.
Kyle Jackson, 5 points in this game. He had a hat trick, and Hoot sent in our group chat the goal that KJ scored. And I don't know, man. It looks like Brendan O'Neill's rubbing off on KJ a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
that wind-up was kind of nice.
It was nice, but it ain't enough for me.
That was like where Brennan is Thor. You got to be worthy to lift Mjolnir. And Brennan just knew KJ was like Captain America, and he knew he could lift it every time. And KJ finally lifted it, and Brennan was like, yes!
I wouldn't say he lifted it enough for me. Like you take a real look at BL34 do that, and it's from the.
There's only one Thor.
I'm just saying it's from the ankles, my guy. Like I need the wind up
height discrepancies.
I need the
KJ's like my height.
I'm just saying I need the wind up to be a little bit bigger, and then we can talk.
It's a different center of gravity.
He can hey, but his ankle is still just as far away from his body as it is on Brennan's body.
Hey, but we ain't seen a wind up from KJ like that. That's not that was never really in his bag.
I don't know.
KJ been scoring some pretty sick goals the past couple of weeks too. That crease stepper, that tiptoeing in my insert shoe brand name here. And then that goal was pretty sweet as well. He's been on fire since he's rejoined the Wings. Brennan had 3 points in this game. Michael Sowers, 3 assists. Phil Caputo, 2 goals and an assist. Pat Foley scored. The legendary Pat Foley. But again, just not enough offensive production. Sam LeClaire cannot go goalless. Like, I've been banging my fucking head on the table about that. Like, he's too good of a player. And when he would tell you that, like, for him to only have 3 shots on goal, to me, is just kind of weird. And he just cannot be going goalless. He's too important of a player on this offense. Joe Resetarits cannot just be putting up 2 points. Like, That's not going to win games for this team. And again, I hate that Dalton Young keeps getting healthy scratched, but that's a discussion for another day. And the defense continued to play really well. Like, you hold a team in this league to 10 goals, you should win 99% of the time. Like, no questions asked. Nick Demude, phenomenal game. Like, again, this whole season for the Wings has not been the defense's problem. It has not been Nick Demude's problem. It's been the offense has had so much inconsistency in finding ways to score, and it bit them in the ass again. Tanner Cook and Riley Lowen. That was the name of the game for the Roughnecks. 5.6 points, respectively. Harrison Matsuoka had 2 assists. Hayden Dixon had 3 points. Tyler Pace had 4 points. And Aiden Walsh. We let Aiden Walsh beat us.
Hey, Aiden Walsh played well that night, which made up for all of the mistakes he made the very next night.
So, yeah, bad loss for the Wings. That is just unacceptable in my book. But Dems beat a breaks. Colorado, we talked about them a little bit. They beat Toronto 16-8. I just think Toronto's they're a fine team. They're a team that doesn't really move the needle for me when it comes to like the playoffs. Like, I feel like they're going to run into a team that is a superior team to them, and they'll get bounced one way or another. Like, they're not a team that is threatening for a deep playoff run this year for me. Like, they're just too young.
Yeah, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. You got to have vets and you got to have that experience. I just don't feel like they have enough of that to make a long run. But then again, Albany did that 2 years ago. I mean, it's not working out for them this year, but 2 years ago, it surely worked out for them.
And Toronto's got more experience vets on their team with Mark Matthews, Challen Rogers, Treasy, Nick Rose.
Yep.
Like,
so
I do wonder, like,
it's not out of the realm, but it is, in my opinion, a little implausible.
I do wonder what this team would look like with Tom Schreiber. With this young influx of talent, with obviously their big 3 rookies.
I feel like he would be like, I feel like he would feel like he has to be a bridge, which I think could work very well between like the 2 styles and like bringing them together. I feel like that could
like just
work a lot.
Seeing Tom with CJ Kirst on the floor together on the same team is just, that's what dreams are made of.
And then you got Owen Hiltz.
Sam English.
And that squad could get dangerous quick.
With Mark Matthews, with Challen, like, it's crazy. Are the Georgia Swarm like championship contenders?
Yes.
I'm with you. And it's more than just Dauber at this point, because their offense has figured things out. Those young kids are balling. Lyle Thompson is balling. Shane Jackson and Brian Cole are balling. That Swarm team is legit.
Yeah, sometimes it only takes, half the season to figure it out, but they were able to do that, and now they're cruising. And they've had Brett Dobson playing at a world-class level all season long. Their offense has kind of just caught up to it, and they really reduced turnovers in this game, which I think was huge for them. The more they turn over the ball, the harder it is for them to compete in these games. I think she felt very comfortable and also was anticipating well. So I really liked what I saw.
Brett Dobson's goals against average this season is ridiculous. 7.03 in 10 games. He's only allowed 68 goals this year, and he has 415 saves. An 859 save percentage, which is by far and away the best of his career if the season ended today.
Wow.
Dauber's other save percentages, 779 his rookie year, 781, 764 last year, and now 859.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
Like, that's also like a credit to the defense, but also like Dauber's facing shots. It's not like he's not seeing shots, but he's just standing on his head. And like Dauber's save percentage right now through 10 games is, and granted, it's a 10-game sample size, so it's a little bit more, but his 2 playoff games, he had an .831 and an .810 save percentage. His save percentage right now through 10 games is higher on average than his 2 playoff games, which is .821 is his playoff save percentage in his career.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's insane. And you all wonder why we're banging the table for him to be MVP.
Because he's playing at an MVP level.
It's absurd. J.I. almost had a perfect game in this one. He was 1 face-off win shy of a perfect game. I mean, dude, we talked about it when Georgia did their draft and everything and walked away with the young guys on this team. And I saw Hoots and Neil talking about it on the run out. Like, was the Andrew Q trade a mistake, or like did Colorado fleece Georgia because obviously Connor Kelly's not playing? From just that trade perspective, sure. But I think you are almost winning by subtracting, because you're allowing these young guys to kind of find their stride, with Shane and Lyle being your focal points, but then you're letting guys like Caleb Benedict and Toron Eccleston and Michael Grace getting involved defensively, and then you have Nolan Byrne, who has been on fire this entire season, just about. You have Jacob Hickey playing really well. Like, you've opened up things for like the young guys that you have drafted and are working to develop at this level, the opportunity to play, and it's benefiting both teams. Andrew Q is balling out with Colorado, and Georgia's benefiting from allowing their young guys to play, and it's showcasing itself week in and week out.
Yeah, I would just slow roll them, in my opinion. Don't let it get too far out of hand, and kind of just let them ease into things. But I think they've done a great job of that over there, and that's why at certain times you can see the confidence build in these guys. You can see them start to take some actions that they did at the previous levels and really just play basketball loosely. So much of sports is instincts, and when those instincts are challenged, or you feel like tense, then you tend to do the wrong thing, trying to do too much. So I really like the idea of how well Georgia has put together their team, and the trajectory they're on, and with the way that Brett Dobson has played, you can't say that they're not in a position to possibly hoist an NLL Cup at the end of the year.
We talking about the Georgia Swarm or the Atlanta Hawks? They playing basketball?
I'm just saying, it's all one. It's all one and the same. Lacrosse and basketball are the same sport.
Oh, that's funny. I saw somebody, I forget where it was. It might have been on the PLL commercial. Somebody said, "I hate the basketballification."
I saw that too. I was like, oh, they clearly don't listen to OTB because they would hate the boy.
That's how I started understanding the box game. As soon as Robin Brown told me, shout out, that like she learned when she was working with the New England Black Wolves by integrating her knowledge of the Connecticut Sun with the WNBA and her NBA fandom, is how I was like, holy shit. It like, I felt like Yu-Gi-Oh! When like he turns into the Pharaoh. Like, I just had infinite knowledge.
Yes. I've used basketball since the beginning of my existence of lacrosse. Like, they are the same sport, just different tools are used to be played.
Mm-hmm. So that's everything that happened in week 12. Looking at the table, Saskatchewan at the top at 9-1, Colorado at 8-2, alone in second place. Georgia 7-3. They are now in third place. Vancouver 6-3. Those are your top 4 teams. Toronto 5-4. San Diego 5-4. Ottawa is 6-5. And they still have a negative goal differential. That's hysterical. Vegas is 4-5. Rochester is 4-5. Buffalo is 4-5. Halifax is 3-6. Philly is 2-7. Calgary is 2-8. and Oshawa is 2-9. I gotta see something here. All of the 5-4 teams, or 6-5, and then 4-5. So Toronto's 5-4. They have a 0 goal differential. San Diego's 5-4. They have a -1 goal differential. Ottawa's 6-5. They have a -3 goal differential. Vegas is 4-5. They have a -5 goal differential. Rochester's 4-5. They're at a -1. Buffalo's 4-5. They're at a -5. All of these teams that are like within one game of being at 500 all have negative or 0 goal differentials,
which kind of tracks. They're getting beat, but beating teams at like the same amount.
Yeah, and they're winning like close games.
Yeah, but also losing close games.
Right. Halifax is 3-6. They've only scored 81 goals this year, which is the fewest in the league. But they've only allowed 91, but they have a -10 goal differential. So it's like, boom, their offense is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The Wings, 87 goals scored, 107 goals allowed. The offense is the problem. Calgary, 97 goals scored, 126 goals allowed.
The defense is the problem.
Well,
really, the goaltending is the problem.
Oshawa, 102 goals scored, 131 allowed. That's an instance where the offense is the problem.
Yes. Maybe even the defense a little bit.
Yes.
But the goaltending...
It's the whole team,
the goaltending,
Doug Jamieson.
I say, the goaltending has been as spectacular as it could possibly be.
Doug Jamieson deserves to do his best Jason Kelsey impression and just be like, it's the whole team!
But not me.
Get Doug Jamieson in a mummer's outfit ASAP. And let him do his best Jason Kelsey impression, because it's the whole team. No one is officially eliminated from playoff contention just yet either, for the record, which would be pretty sad if that was the case, because we're only like the halfway point. Our NLL wrap up there brought to you by our friends over at Buff. Guys, Deej and I have been experiencing some nice balmy weather the past couple of days, which means brighter days are on the horizon, and that means we'll get to be outside more, and you should protect yourself from the elements with our friends at Buff. They've got you covered for any and all activities, from biking, fishing, hunting, hiking and camping, running, skiing and snowboarding, or just everyday work. Plus, they've got PPE and workwear for firefighters and security now, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's fire.
All pun intended. I love the everyday stuff. They've got beanies, they've got hats, the everyday just lightweight neckwear with the gator buffs that they have. Plus, they've got the Survivor collection, the Jackson Hole collection, the National Parks collection, and so much more. Use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Buff. That way they know you're coming from us. And we thank Buff for being a proud partner of the pod. They've got the Survivor 50 buffs out now that look sick.
I haven't seen them yet.
Orange and yellow, purple, teal, and like neon green. And then we've got like a teal, green, and yellow.
Okay.
Big fan. Plus, you can get them all bundled together for just $81. It's not too shabby at all. Shout out to Buff for being a proud partner of the pod. Short week in the National Lacrosse League this week, Deej. We've got 4 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 games on Friday, 1 game on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday. Colorado goes to Toronto, so little quick turnaround rematch there after last week's back-to-back doubleheader there for Colorado against the same team. Buffalo heads to Vancouver on Friday night at 10 Eastern. Then at 10 Eastern on Saturday, it's Halifax at San Diego. And then 3 p.m., Philadelphia, Bark in the Bowl. So there's going to be dogs everywhere, not just me this time. Host Saskatchewan at 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. What are your takeaways, your thoughts on this mini Week 13 schedule we have in the National Lacrosse League?
San Diego's kind of been putting it together recently, and I know Halifax just lost to Buffalo, but they were kind of on a little bit of a run before that. I think that game has a lot of potential to be very good. I think Colorado-Toronto is going to be spectacular off the simple fact that they just played each other. And we know that those games, at least this season and the last couple of seasons when teams are playing each other twice in a row, they have provided nothing but sparks both nights. It's almost as if it's like a mini playoff series where they're like, all right, you might have got us the last game, but now it's time for us to have made those adjustments and to get back at you. I really like the idea of teams kind of playing each other 2 weeks in a row. It provides a different outlook. And then Buffalo Vancouver is simply just is Buffalo back. Vancouver's played at a really high level this season. I think that they've run into a couple of really good teams, and then they've also run into some teams who have just had a really good night, and which has cost them some losses in some games that maybe they shouldn't have lost. But this is another great opportunity for them to show how good they are, or for Buffalo to say, hey, we're back and we're rolling and we're ready to do this thing for real.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado gets a chance to potentially go BTA back-to-back weeks against Toronto, this time in Toronto. That's going to be a ton of fun there. Buffalo, Vancouver, that's a gut check game for Buffalo, like you just said, pretty much. Like, Buffalo's got to look themselves in the mirror going in this one, and Vancouver's coming off a tough loss, too, at that. So it's not like you're getting Vancouver coming in on, this high of highs. You're going into their barn, and Vancouver's coming off of a loss to Saskatchewan that's leaving a sour taste in their mouths, and in overtime, no less.
Yeah.
So you got to be on your P's and Q's if you're Buffalo.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough game for both sides.
Especially because half that team has bad blood against them from the championship run that Calgary went on. So, they know each other. It's a lot of similar players. I think there's going to be some sparks in that game for sure. Halifax, San Diego is going to be a doozy of a game. I don't know what to make of it. I hope Pat Cav is back. He was out last week, but this game is fat. You get a unicorn battle at the stripe with Withers and Trevor. Two offenses that have the talent. Like you said, San Diego started to put it together a lot more consistently than Halifax has, but I'm intrigued by the defenses. I'm intrigued by the goaltending. I'm intrigued by the transition game in this one. I think that's what's going to be like the domino effect one way or another. We know these offenses have talent, but if Withers is winning against Trevor, can he get the ball to Randy Stotts? Can he get it to some of these guys on this Halifax offense? Can Trevor, really get the edge over Jake and really provide this offense with a spark? I think that's going to be a huge factor for this game. And then Philly, Saskatchewan, hey, I'm going to take what Philly can produce against the best team. This is a litmus test if I've ever seen one. See where you're at. This is a see where you're at game. Saskatchewan's coming in as the best team in the league, obviously. I don't know, man. It's not an ideal it's not an ideal situation regardless if you had won or lost against Calgary, but it's not great that you're coming into this game off of a loss either. You need to play the most perfect game you have ever played, and I just haven't seen this Wings team do that, especially this season. So you're going to need a multi-point game from Michael Sowers. You're going to need a multi-point game from Brennan O'Neill. You're going to need Kyle Jackson to have an incredible home debut before he's away for Champ Series. This is a gut check litmus test. See where you're at type of game for the Wings. And Saskatchewan has to just be licking their lips knowing that they have the Wings on their schedule at this point in the season, because quite frankly, we know on paper and just from games we've seen so far, this Wings offense cannot go blow for blow with Saskatchewan. I hope they prove me wrong, but I just don't see the consistency for them to go and do it.
I have to agree. I don't see them competing with Saskatchewan in a way where the game is fast-paced. I think that if the Wings are able to slow it down, make it a half-field game, really make their life hard on the defensive end. They can create some opportunities for themselves throughout the game. But if they let Saskatchewan get in any type of groove or feel any type of comfortability, this game is good as over.
Yeah, you got to muck it up. You got to make this game ugly.
Very, from the jump.
Am I crazy to say that like this is like a game where I think Eric Fennell thrives?
No, I feel like that's kind of the role he had with Halifax as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he really showed up in big games when they needed him to.
Looking at the schedule, what is your Riverside game of the week? Brought to you by, of course, Riverside.
I think I'm gonna go Halifax and San Diego this week. I really like that matchup. San Diego's been cruising. Halifax coming off one loss, but before that, they were playing at a really high level. A lot of excitement on both sides. Basically, a battle for purple. And I'm just really excited to see who comes out on top of this one and how that momentum helps them over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's the most intriguing game of the week. Second game for me would be Buffalo Vancouver, just to see where Buffalo kind of gut checks themselves. But I'm excited for Halifax and San Diego. I think that's going to be a doozy of a game. Our Riverside game of the week brought to you by Riverside. Guys, we record our podcast every single week in Riverside, and it has changed the game for us, for getting clips out, for editing the show, getting it uploaded as fast as possible. Riverside has been a complete game changer for us. It has really, really been awesome. It has helped us put out Light the Flame and Olympics podcast at the most efficient rate possible. These Winter Olympics and all of our shows are using Riverside one way or another. You guys can get your shows started, your video series, your webinars, what have you. If you're using video components, you should be using Riverside. Use our link in the description to sign up and get started with Riverside. Get your subscription going. That way your podcasts, your video series, your webinars look and sound pristine with our friends at Riverside. Like I said, use that link in the description and get started with Riverside. We'll head on over to the pick pond, dish out our NLL Week 13 Picks of the Week, brought to you by Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Maryland, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. Deej, we start 7:30 Eastern on Friday night, Colorado at Toronto. Toronto obviously coming off the loss to the aforementioned Colorado last week in Denver. I'm taking Colorado to get the dub in this game. They are the 1A best team in the National Lacrosse League right now, no questions asked.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Colorado as well. For me in this one, even though it's really hard to say a team can beat a team twice in a row, Saskatchewan did it earlier this year, and I believe against Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken. That gives me a little bit of hope. And also, I think Colorado's kind of just playing in that stratosphere where it's like, I got to pick them until they give me a reason not to.
Vancouver did it against Rochester. I think that's what it was. That's part of Rochester's three-game losing.
No, but I also think Saskatchewan did it against Vancouver. Because the second game they came back in, I know that. And maybe it wasn't Vancouver, maybe it was someone else, but I'm pretty sure Saskatchewan did it this year too.
I'm double checking. I don't know why I don't remember that. It was against Halifax.
Okay. Yep.
It was against Halifax. That was the December into January.
Yep.
Because they won 10-9 and then they won 11-7.
Yep. Back to back.
Their only loss was Ottawa.
Which, I mean, is a decent loss right now. Ottawa's in the playoffs. They're playing good ball right now. Jeff Teat's kind of looking like Jeff Teat. So I don't hate that loss at all.
Yeah.
Now, if it was the other Canada team, we'd have a little more to talk about.
Yes. Buffalo, Vancouver.
I still don't know if I can trust Buffalo, especially against a surging Vancouver team. Vancouver's playing very well. I'm like,
and Vancouver's coming off an overtime loss.
right. I know that's
they
a
could have
loss.
won that game.
Yeah, and it's a game that they were leading and everything. They're probably upset at themselves, and they're a team that responds very well to those kind of situations they put themselves in those kind of games they play. They respond well. So I expect them to respond here, and I'm going to take Vancouver in this one.
Yeah, Vancouver's at home. Buffalo's got to travel across the damn nation. Not only across the country, but they got to cross into Western Canada. So Vancouver's at home. They're probably pissed as hell that they lost last week. I'm going to go Vancouver to get the dub. Halifax and San Diego. San Diego is the hotter team right now. They are the more consistent team right now, as crazy as that is to say, with their up and down season so far. I just can't trust Halifax to score right now. That's my thing. Like, San Diego has at least proven they can score.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense and, goaltending early on was more of a question. They've proven they can put the ball in the back of the net. They have the talent to do it. Halifax hasn't been able to score. They've scored the fewest amount of goals a team has scored in the National Lacrosse League this year. Until they can show that they can score consistently, I'm going San Diego. Again, another team that has to travel cross time zones. They got to travel across 4 time zones to get to San Diego. I'm going with San Diego in the Purple People Eater Bowl.
Yeah, I'm going to rock with San Diego as well. For me, I think it's a combination of them being the home team, and also, like you said, just that trust in the offense. I think that Halifax has gotten good play from the back end, but just not enough in a scenario where you're either even at the stripe or you're beat because of who they have on the other side. So you need other parts of your team to step up, and I'm not sure that their offense will be able to hold up with what San Diego will put out.
Yeah. And then we have Saskatchewan and Philly.
I'm taking Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I mean, they're the best team in the league. They've lost one time. It was the second game of the year. I would love to be proven wrong, but at least there will be dogs in the arena.
Facts. That'll make you feel better.
But I'm going with Saskatchewan to get the dub. So we're on the same page here, which I think for a week like this isn't too crazy.
Right.
But congratulations to Toronto, Vancouver, Halifax, and Philly for winning. If it is crazy, we both have Colorado. We both have Vancouver. We both have San Diego, and we both have Saskatchewan. And those are our NLL Week 13 Picks of the Week, brought to you by Kenwood Beer. Last little bit here of the show is brought to you by our PLL App Code. Guys, download the PLL app in the App Store, Google Play Store to keep up to date with everything going on in the PLL, with the Championship Series, with the regular season, with the WLL. It's a gamified app. You earn experience points just for logging into the app and completing a task every single day. You can get 500 XP on your account when you download the PLL app. Go to the redeem code section and type in OTBPOD. That's OTB Pod. You get 500 XP on your account. Use that code. The PLL sees when that code gets used, and who knows, maybe we'll get a bigger code if more people use our code. So use that code, download the PLL app, and keep up to date with everything going on in the league with the PLL app. Deej, a couple of Champ Series coaching decisions came down today as we record this. The New York Atlas announced that our guy, friend of the program, Joe Sinowski, will be acting head coach for the Atlas in this Champ Series. And acting assistant coach will be none other than Xander Dixon. I love this.
Yeah,
I think this is such a super unique opportunity, obviously. Like, this doesn't happen all the time, and obviously it sucks that Xander can't play because of his injury, but to utilize his knowledge of the game, his knowledge of competing in Champ Series, along with Sino, I think this is such a smart move by Sino, by, I'm sure, Mike Pressler being involved in conversations with this happening too. I love this move.
Yeah, I like this move a lot as well. I think you're taking one of the better offensive minds in the off-ball play. I think that's what's really going to help Atlas here is Xander Dixon's so good at getting available off-ball and being available for his teammates when they need someone to move the ball to. Having that element in the Sixers game is going to be huge. And they already have the speed and athleticism to be great. But then adding the beautiful mind of Xander Dixon to help some of these guys offensively move around, it could get very dangerous very quickly.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this, and it is interesting that you have Sino coming in, a defensive-minded coach. I'm intrigued to see like what he brings, just expertise-wise, to this format, and how he's going to approach things. Because obviously, we've seen with Atlas, it's been Stephen Brooks running the show for them whenever they've been in the Champ Series. But I'm intrigued to kind of see a defensive-minded coach tackle Champ Series, because I think this is the first time we've had a defensive-minded acting or active head coach in the Champ Series this entire run of its existence, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
No, I might be mistaken, because Chris Collins for the Redwoods.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, like, we haven't really had it, so it's a fun approach that you're going to get a defensive-minded coach along with an active player. That's a fun scenario there, and I'm intrigued by how Atlas kind of approaches everything in Champ Series now.
I don't think it changes a ton for them, but it will be an interesting vibe to see if it changes anything for them at all. But I do think their offense is in a great spot. And this coaching philosophy will be a little bit different. I think he's probably going to go heavy, hey, let's play better defense to create opportunities on offense. If you can create turnovers, get clean saves, get out in transition, the Sixers game becomes very easy.
I think biggest beneficiaries of Xander coaching, our guy Max Krebsky and Matt Trainer. First timers, they kind of just get to hear a player perspective on everything. I think they're going to benefit the most from just like being sponges and being able to learn from a teammate perspective. I think that's a really cool opportunity for those guys. And I'm sure a bunch of the guys will, but I'm looking at those two being like, oh, they might do some things that are going to blow people away.
I mean, anybody can do anything at any time. So don't set
Way to
yourself.
go, Captain Obvious. Way to go.
I'm just saying, don't set yourself up for that. That's all I'm saying, dog. Don't set yourself up for that.
Also, I was cracking up because new Atlas beat writer Jared Veluzzi, shout out to Jared, welcome on the show anytime, my friend, put an article about Brian Phipps on the PLL website, and Phipps quotes me with the, oh shit, here we go again.
That is hilarious.
Phipps is on a heater of tweets since he announced that he's coming back.
Bro said I'm back and just got to tweeting.
It's incredible. He's tweeting the Phillip Rivers memes. It was great. He's been on a heater. If we can get Phipps on at Champ Series, oh my days.
I'm sure that can happen.
We got to make that happen. We got to get status updates on his legs every day, too.
Nah, for real.
And then the other coaching announcement, joining Stephen Brooks, the newly anointed head coach of the Carolina Chaos, on the sidelines will be acting assistant head coach and current active GM Spencer Ford, who, if we all remember, back in 2023, those two were just on the sideline for the New York Atlas, doing the damn thing, coaching in Champ Series. So a lot of familiarity there. That's going to be a lot of fun. And again, we talked about it when the roster's fully dropped, Deej. The more I look at that Chaos roster, the more I'm just excited about that team in this format.
Yeah, I think Chaos is going to be a really good team. They have really slick hands. They have a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism, and they got a great goalie to back it all up. I think that Sixes is built for a team that has a roster like Chaos.
Yeah, I'm pumped for them big time. It's going to be a fun time. I think we did get WLL coaching announcements too, if I'm not mistaken. I want to see if that's out on the tweet machine because I don't see the updates on the website. But I think we got some assistant coach announcements for the WLL this week as well. Yeah, Corey Donahoe will be the assistant coach for the Maryland Charm. Rachel Sanford is the new assistant coach for the California Palms. We have an acting head coach for the New York Charging. This is a fun one. I didn't even see this one until just now, but we have assistant coach Amy Orcutt and acting head coach Charlie Leonard.
Oh, that's new.
I like that.
Hey, Charlie.
Chucky. That's going to be a lot of fun. I just saw that one for the first time. And then WLL-wise as well. 2-point line in Champ Series. It's about damn time.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so pumped.
They're pumped too. I think that one's going to be huge. Incentivize them to shoot out a little bit further, make it count too. There's a couple that can already hit from that range on a consistent basis.
Dude, Emily Harris, Chuck, and fucking Izzy Skane, Charlotte, like they're going to be ripping heaters from 2.
Exactly.
It's going to be so sick.
I'm here for it. So I think a lot of them are going to go in too.
Oh, it's going to be so sick. I'm so pumped. That's the thing too. If you watch women's sixes, it's such a goddamn fun format. I enjoy it. It's my favorite, I think, of any form of the women's game. It's just so fluid. There's no stopping and start. It's just so much fun. I love women's sixes.
I don't know if I have a favorite denomination yet at any level, but I do like the speed of sixes, and I'm really excited to see, the WLL get back to it. And I'm really excited for them to play traditional and get out on the field and get that whole season started as well. I don't think you can go wrong with how you play the game.
Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm pumped. Champ Series starts next week, Deej.
Yeah.
Next week.
It came here fast, dog.
We talk about games. We not talk about practice. We talking about games.
I knew your old Philly head ass was going there.
Come on. He's a former Piston, too.
Oh, yeah. Totally I know. Everybody always forgets about that year.
Hey, also, why are we doing puff pieces for Tobias Harris right now?
So annoying,
what is that?
dog.
What is that article?
It's so annoying, bro. Because, he's not even a hooper.
Someone I know tweeted, yeah, Philly paid him to be a dominating third option power forward, and we got an accountant.
Which is facts, because I'm about to go and tweet the same thing. It's getting out of hand.
Puff pieces. JB Bickerstaff say, "Oh, he was treated unfairly in Philadelphia." What the fuck you mean?
No, he just sucks.
Did you not watch the games?
He just sucks.
Good grief. But Champ Series next week. Exciting. I'll be down there the first weekend, in the first day of the games in March, which I think is March 5th. And I'll be there through the championship, which I'm going to be so thrown off, Deej, because Sunday is the championship, and that is when daylight savings ends. I'm going to be fucked up.
Yeah. You are. Because it's
Golly
going forward,
gee.
too.
Woo.
Yep.
That's going to be a time. Yeah, I'm doing a gauntlet the first week of March, bro. March 4th, I'm working for that company again at the Sixers game. And then Champ Series, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah, that boy's going to be on it.
We're going to be grinding. But yeah, that is all we've got for you guys on this one. Make sure you're following us at OTB Laxpod. What do you and Hoots have upcoming on the college show on Tuesday?
Same old. Running through what happened this past week and getting into all the goodness that's upcoming this week.
Running through the crease with my woes.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure we complete a couple infractions an episode, so it makes total sense.
Also, check out the Lacrosse Matrix. I made a back-to-back, another Drake reference there, back-to-back appearance there this week with another Philadelphia wing, Michael Sowers on the show, and Kai the goalie on the show with Adam. So go check that episode out. I feel like at this point we got to get Kai. I feel like the only show Kai hasn't been on is ours.
Are we gonna let him complete the gauntlet?
Is it time for Kai the goalie to come on OTB?
It might be. It might be.
The ball's in your stick, Kai.
Would it be tampering if I try and recruit him?
I gotta do the interview solo. It's gotta be me and Hoots.
Would that be tampering if I'm like, hey, come play for me?
You recruit him from Georgia.
I got this thing called the Kalamazoo Promise. I could send you to school for free.
He moves in with you, so he builds residency.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
Just him and Indy.
Oh my god, that would be great. He would instantly put Indy in all his content.
You've heard of My Gym Partner's a Monkey? We got My Gym Partner's a Puppy.
Hey, My Gym Partner a Monkey was low key gas. Underrated show.
That show rocked. But yeah, maybe Kai the goalie comes on the show. We're working on getting Rich Lisk on the show in the next couple of weeks too, which will be a lot of fun. Connecting with him and finally finding out where the hell Riptide Eddie is.
Nah, facts. Need that ASAP.
I gotta make a wanted poster in Photoshop of Riptide Eddie.
Yes.
Have you seen this man? Have you seen this creature?
Please reach out to us if you have.
Reward an appearance on the podcast.
Sounds like the best reward ever.
But yeah, we'll have to get Kai on. We'll have to get the new Atlas beat writer on. Get him in the mix. And we'll have Rich Lisk on soon. And a potential mystery guest in the near future too.
Yep.
That kind of Deej got an mouse. An anemone. I did that on purpose because I had Finding Nemo in the brain.
I could tell.
An anonymous message from a potential guest in the near future.
Yeah. I was so confused. I'm like, what does this have to do with me? But yes, no, that I did. Yes, I got that.
So that'll be happening probably more recent or sooner than anybody because that's how that shit goes.
Yep. You know how it go.
But yeah, make sure you're following us on the socials at OTB Laxpod. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify. Leave a 5-star rating and review. Be a friend, tell a friend. Subscribe. OTB College Show on Tuesday with Deej and Hoots. Subscribe to the YouTube channels and leave a like on the video. Be a friend, tell a friend to subscribe to those. Check out Light the Flame and Olympics podcast. We got 3 more days of coverage. Then we're on to LA, which is fucking crazy to think about. But this has been episode number 415 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, most disrespectful and unprofessional lacrosse podcast you ever done, seen, heard in the land It's the Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Industries Podcast Network. For Deej, I'm KB. Enjoy this weekend of lacrosse. We'll see you back on Tuesday with Deej and Hoots for the college show, and we'll see you back here next week breaking everything down and talking Champ Series. Let's fucking go, baby. We got live action PLL Champ Series next week. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here. Peace, people.
Peace.